Good morning, beloveds. I went to bed cranky. I woke up cranky. I didn't want to go to the park. But I went to the park and I ran one loop and I ran a little bit of the second loop and then I walked the rest of it and we ran out of peanuts. We got swarmed a couple of times by the squirrels, which was interesting. They were quite literally chasing us. And we were like, and you lose, when there's, multiple squirrels, you lose track of who's had a peanut and who hasn't had a peanut. And then, it was an interesting, but I feel better now. There's something about watching them come running because they recognize you. I did a little research to check about the squirrels to make sure, we weren't hurting them by giving them peanuts. And as long as you give them unsalted peanuts, it's fine. And they recognize you. So if you have been a source for peanuts and you're a fairly regular source, they will come. We have had them chase us fairly far. And after the first swarm, I felt better. There's definitely something about feeding peanuts to squirrels that definitely feeds my soul. So I hope that you have an activity in your life that you do that is, it does nothing for you but feed your soul. Feeding the squirrels in the park does absolutely, it's not about exercise. It's not about my health. But it feeds our soul. It's fun. They make us laugh. And we just we leave the park feeling a little bit better. So I hope that you have something like that in your life. Something that doesn't do anything for you, doesn't do anything, it's not a big monumental change to the world. It's kindness to something that can't do anything for you. Squirrels literally, but it just makes you feel good. All right. It is February 6th, and our title is, I am one with my source. Neither shall they say, lo there, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. And that is Luke 17:21. The good things we seek from life are but echoes of the true self knocking at the door of consciousness. Everyone seeks an inward sense of certainty. We all seek an inner awareness of something greater than we are, something so complete that we can find completion in it, something so vast that we may anticipate exploring its nature through endless eternities. Someone has said that the soul is homesick and that it can never recover until it finds complete union with its source. Intuitively, we know that such a union with a source of power must exist. If the pipe that conducts water from a high reservoir into our homes becomes disconnected, it does not mean that the water has dried up at its source. So it is with our life. Its source is an infinite sea of energy, power, love, and wisdom. That which connects us with the source is our inner life, those thoughts and feelings that make up our consciousness. Through the spiritual practice of meditation, we are able to unite consciously with our infinite source, and so allow the cosmic stream of good to flow to us in an unobstructed channel. I am filled with the spirit of love and gladness. I am filled with an expectancy of good things. The energy of life flows through me. I have no anxiety for the future, no regrets for the past. Today is God's day in which I live and in which I greatly rejoice. And I have no idea what I just heard. I do. Ernest is advocating the daily spiritual practice of meditation because, and I've heard it described this way: prayer is when we talk to God, and meditation is when we listen. And meditation, and please do not think that you have to sit cross-legged on a pillow and stare at the wall or close your eyes. Meditation is so much more than that. And you can do it in a number of different ways. Sitting up cross-legged on a pillow, staring at the wall or the back of your eyelids is definitely an option. I meditate when I run. Literally, I would say that the only time that I can think about nothing is when I run. I run with headphones and listen to music, and sometimes I couldn't tell you what I heard because my mind is elsewhere and I don't know where it is. And I just feel better when I finish running. And that's one of the reasons why I do it. Like this morning, like I said, I woke up cranky. I didn't want to go for that run, but I knew that if I did, I would feel better because it's a chance for me to empty my mind. Which is one of the reasons why I encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. Frequently, if we give our body something to do, then we can let our mind rest. Especially if it's something like running for me is repetitive. If I am in the park, I am safe. I'm not having to worry about watching out for traffic. I just have to make sure that I don't get run over by the faster runners and that I don't run over the walkers. So I can let my mind go. And I can go to that still small, quiet place within me. And I may not come out with anything other than a sense of peace, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness that has no reason. And that's the benefit of meditation. Like, there is nothing making me happy. I'm just happy because I have let my mind rest. And that is meditation. And that, I think, is how meditation helps connect us with a source. We don't meditate to get something. We meditate to rest from, probably to rest from something. Walking meditations, candle meditations, music meditations, chanting meditations, either you listening to chanting or you actually chanting, drumming meditation. There are all kinds of different ways for you to meditate. So try them. That's why we teach a class called Practical Mysticism. It's like an 8-week class, and we explore all of the qualities of God through various sacred literature. And then 2, every day, every class, we try and explore a different type of meditation so that you find one that really speaks to you. So, I am one with my source. How do you connect with your source? Meditation is an excellent way to do it. Sacred literature is an excellent way to do it. And there is amazing sacred literature all around the world. All around the world. So please do not restrict yourself to just one sacred literature. Okay. I'm one with my source. Neither shall they... Okay. This is one of those Bible quotes that I really honestly think that we would be better off with the source, except for the fact that it says, "Behold, the kingdom of God is within you." Anytime. I love meditation because I found a way to do it, and that's my goal. That's why I always tell people, it's not this way, not just this way. If that way makes you happy, go. But yeah. So, neither shall I say, lo there, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Oh, never mind. I got it. The Bible quote is, we keep looking for the kingdom of God outside of us. Or we like to put it in that airy-fairy, up in the sky. And Luke is saying the kingdom of God is within you. Well, Jesus is saying the kingdom of God is within you. And that is one of the reasons why we call him the master teacher. Okay, so the good things we seek from life are but echoes of the true self knocking at the door of consciousness. The good things we seek from life are but echoes of the true self. So all the good we do. Well, I mean, if we look at it from the standpoint of everything exists as an idea and spirit, and then the material form is an echo of the perfect idea. Okay. So we are recreating an idea in form that exists in perfection in spirit. Everyone seeks an inward sense of certainty. That's true. That's why we meditate. We all seek an inner awareness of something greater than we are, something so complete that we can find completion in it, something so vast that we may anticipate exploring its nature through endless eternities. Frequently, we try and do this. We seek completion in other people. And that's, it is but a pale shadow of the completion that we are seeking when we are seeking it in other people. And I'm not saying that we don't have wonderful and loving relationships with other people, but when we seek relationships for completion, we are setting ourselves up to fail. Relationships should be two complete people who have come together to further their own journeys by walking together. Because the true completion that we are seeking is within. And it is within the source of us all. So, and that's one of the things that I think that we would be better off learning young. It's like, you are a wonderful, whole, complete, perfect being. There is nobody to complete you. There is nobody to complete you. And if you know that about yourself, and then the person that you enter into a relationship knows that about themselves, then you enter into a relationship to learn more together, to walk a path together. Not, yeah. There's more to that, and I'm not sure, so I'm gonna let it go. But that's my contention about relationships. It's like, don't seek another person to complete you. You are complete within yourself, and they make the journey better when they walk with you. They're complete, you are complete, and together you make a greater whole. I don't know. All right. Whoa. And then you can walk through those eternities together. Someone has said that the soul is homesick. I believe lots of someones have said that. Please go read most poetry. And that's the contention of the poetry. Someone has said that the soul is homesick and that it cannot recover until it finds complete union with its source. Intuitively, we know that such a union with a source of power must exist. Otherwise, why would we look? We just keep looking outside of ourselves instead of within. If the pipe that conducts water from a high reservoir to our home becomes disconnected, it does not mean that the source of water has dried up at its source. That's a very real world example. So it is with our life. Its source is an infinite sea of energy, power, love, and wisdom. And that's one of the things I like, that he uses that real world, and that's example, because I say plug in. I use the metaphor of kinking the hose because we all know that. I mean, we were all children. We've all played with hoses. And if you have a sibling, because I have a younger brother, you know the joy of kinking the hose and then letting it go and so that it sprays in their face. Well, we do that to ourselves. We do that to ourselves. We kink our hose. Or there's something heavy, so that a little bit's trickling through, and it's like, well, all we got to do is find that. And generally, it's us kinking our own hose. So when we unkink the hose, frequently it does blast us in our face, and then it takes us a minute to find our equilibrium, and then the flow. So that which connects us with the source of our inner life, those thoughts and feelings that make up our consciousness, we get in our own way. Or we're constantly looking for it outside. And so it's like we're standing on our own hose. It's like we become aware, we move our foot, and we relax and let that power flow, that love flow, that source. It's like we can't cut it off completely. But buddy, we can certainly cut it down to next to nothing. But that's the good news. We can't cut it off completely. Through the spiritual practice of meditation, we're able to unite consciously with our infinite source and so allow the cosmic stream of good to flow into us in an unobstructed channel. And that's what I'm talking about, kinking the hose. Through meditation, through making that connection, especially turning it into a default connection, then we have the opportunity to create an unobstructed channel. The channel's always there. Frequently, we are standing on our own hose, though, by being unconscious. I am filled with the spirit of love and gladness. I am filled with an expectancy. I am filled with an expectancy. The word's divided on the page. I'm filled with an expectancy of good things. The energy of life flows through me, which is why we say God can only do for you what God can do through you. The energy to do this. It's not coming from you. It's coming through you. Unkink your hose. I have no anxiety for the future, no regrets for the past. Today is God's day in which I live and in which I greatly rejoice. All right. Well, our mission today. Okay. I would say that our mission today, I'm going to use this, that which connects us with the source is our inner life, whose thoughts and feelings make up our consciousness. So I would say our mission today is to be conscious of our thoughts and feelings, so that we can look for where we may be kinking our hose. And if our thoughts and feelings are focused on material and matter, especially if we're doing it we live in a material world and we are going to have lots of thoughts about material world. It's necessary to do this. But if we go into meditation with those material thoughts and feelings and concerns, we're kinking our hose. So let's be conscious of our thoughts and feelings all the time. And then see when we get into that meditative space if we can't let that go. The challenge of thinking about nothing is so please practice thinking about nothing. So, all right, I'm going to move into the process of my day because my stomach is about to tell me off because I did get to go to the park and did just a little over 3 miles. And I would encourage you to, again, as always, do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself every day. That truly is a spiritual practice. It is. And it is about connecting with your source within. So, and do something to engage your mind and your body. If you give your body something to do, it will let your mind rest. Especially if you don't get too caught up into, am I doing this right? That's one of the things I like about running. As long as I'm in mostly proper form, because I have hurt myself, then I don't have to worry about it. It's like, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not fast. I'm never going to be fast. I know this, and this is okay. I just run because it gives me that space in my head. So, please, open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you that you are a beloved child of Spirit, in whom Spirit is well pleased, always and forever. This is the state of grace that we live in. And I am going to enjoy my Catterday with my cats. So please do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day. All right, beloveds. I hope you can hear that magnificent purr. That is a meditation in and of itself. Okay, well, Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. today. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. And since it is Saturday, that means we have an amazing service for you at 11 a.m. right here on Facebook Live on Sunday. And since it is February, we are taking on the month of love. All right, so check out and see what we're going to talk about.